Hey everyone, this is Jackie Rendall with your weekly Rendall's Cleaning e-newsletter. This is the week of October 19th, 2015, and it's a good choice to listen to this week's newsletter because it is kind of a longer one, but it's definitely very important and informative. So thanks for joining me if you're listening, and let's just get started. So if you have a basement, do this now. "Can you come and dry out my basement? The sump backed up and everything is wet," said our client one cold and blustery November morning. After our arrival and inspection of her water loss, we explained to our client that we needed to do to get the situation mitigated and brought back to pre-loss condition. She gave us the go-ahead to get her basement and contents dry. There were wet cardboard boxes that were so saturated that they looked like they were made of melting wax. There was a pool table with wet legs and a full log cabin-esque bar that was wet 2 feet up. The drywall was wet and crumbling 2 feet up the wall, and water was coming out of the exterior siding. Then there was this Ethan Allen furniture that got wet halfway up the skirting of the sofa, loveseat, and chairs, not to mention the carpet and pad, and the entire 2.130 square feet basement was squishing, and I mean boot-grabbing, sopping wet. Before diving into the water extraction phase, as always, we consulted with our client about the scope of the damage and approximate associated costs. Based on the circumstances, we suggested she call her insurance company and get a claim started right away. If you're unfamiliar with how a homeowner's insurance claim works, first, the insured contacts the insurance company and describes what happened. Then, the insurance company looks through the policy to ensure that it's a covered loss. And if it is covered, the insurance issues the insured a claim number, you pay your deductible, and the damage incurred by the loss is brought back to what we in the industry call pre-loss condition. If it's covered, the only out-of-pocket cost to you is the deductible and any amount above the limit set by the insurance company. As we go forward, remember the line above. I put it in bold text so you can reference it easily. If it's not a covered loss, they'll try to nicely let you down. Usually, but sometimes they're not so nice about it. By the way, always doing 4 things when you file a claim. 1. Write down the claim number and keep it with you. 2. Get the adjuster's name if an adjuster was assigned. 3. Get the adjuster's phone number, again if one was assigned. If not, ask the claims agent who filed the claim for a contact phone number in case there are questions. And then number 4, contact your insurance agent and tell him or her you're filing a claim. Doing so may help expedite the claims process, and a good agent always wants to help. After our discussion, our client called her insurance company to make a claim, only to find that she had only the standard $5,000 max coverage. We projected this dry down and rebuild to be in the $15,000 range, leaving a $10,000 differential that the client would have to pay out of pocket. Drywall needed to be cut out and replaced. The bar needed to be disconnected, removed, dried, and reinstalled. The pool table legs needed to be refinished. The pad needed to be replaced and the carpet dried, restretched over new pad, and cleaned. All the walls needed to be repainted after it was all put back together. You get the idea. This was a very involved water loss. Our client told me she only had $5,000 in coverage, so I looked through her policy to see if they were right. They were right, unfortunately. Our client hadn't purchased a rider to cover S&S, which is sump and sewer coverage. Your standard homeowner's policy has whole pages of exclusions and limits, including limits on the standard policy about covering water losses due to sump and sewer failures and backups. The cost of such a rider is tiny, but most standard homeowners insurance policies don't cover sump and sewer backups beyond the $5,000 limit without the rider. I look through my own policy every year when it's time to renew to absolutely ensure the rider is there. When I finished my own basement several years ago, I bumped my coverage up from $10,000 to $15,000. My rider only costs around $100 a year and covers up to $15,000 if I have a sump or sewer backup. Right now, before you forget, if you have a basement, make sure you have that rider. If you don't, call your insurance company as soon as they open and get it. We're coming into sump and sewer backup season. My recommendation is to figure out what your basement is worth if everything in it got damaged from a water loss. Our client in this story was partially lucky as it was only sump water. If it was water from the sewer or septic, everything that was absorbent would have had to been replaced because we cannot merely dry, sanitize, and clean things like carpet pad upholstery fabric, drywall, insulation, papers, stuffed toys, etc. In a septic or sewer backup, anything that can absorb water must be discarded because it can't, without massive extra testing costs, be guaranteed to be free of potentially dangerous parasites and bacteria. Hard surfaces, we can apply decontamination agents and clean them after drying, but not so with the soft things. Every insurance company is different, but the standard policy only covers up to $5,000, and many insurance companies will allow you to purchase as much as $20,000, perhaps even more. We go through this every year, and it's just so sad and unnecessary. If I was an insurance agent, I wouldn't sell a homeowner's policy to someone with a basement unless they bought the additional rider or signed a waiver specifically stating that they're denying the sump and sewer rider. But I'm just a restoration and cleaning professional and not an insurance agent. The only power I have to make the world through my eyes a better place is right here, doing my weekly newsletter, and our website, YouTube channel, Facebook page, and Twitter. Shouting out to the world stuff we experience all the time, hoping you'll follow and share my ramblings with your friends and loved ones. Please, right now, I don't care if it's 2 a.m. and you have to wake up in a few hours for work. If you're reading this or listening, pull out your homeowner's policy now, and if you have a basement, make darn sure you have a rider that covers sump and sewer septic backups. Then, make sure you have enough coverage just in case your sump goes out or you have a sewer or septic backup. And then tell your friends and family who own homes with a basement to do the same. Scott Rendall, president and wearer of many hats. P.S. There will be a link in the description of this audio video. This week's cleaning tip is choose the right padding for your carpet. Installed carpet really is a modern wonder. Before the 1940s, the only indoor soft flooring you could get was an area rug. Sure, the wealthy had rooms full of nice wool area rugs that kept their feet nice and toasty in the winter, not to mention soft for walking on and toddlers and pets to play on. But the average person prior to the advent of installed carpeting didn't have that luxury. The first installed carpets were as thin as a New York pizza, and they were tacked down with nails called carpet tacks along the edges. Nowadays, they're typically stretched in with padding underneath and tackless strips that hold the carpet tight. No more stubbing your toe on loose carpet tack. Ouch! The installed carpet revolution took off in the 1950s, and by the 1960s, there were these things called shag carpets starting to make the rounds. Ugly things, these shag carpets, but they were all the rage with their long strands of nylon fibers. Some were so thick people lost money in them, literally. Quarters, dimes, and nickels were no match for a thick shag rug. We still see shag rugs in our rug cleaning plant, and yes, we find money in them all the time, along with bobby pins, small toys, and we even found a mouse skeleton once. Couldn't even see the mouse skeleton from the top. It was only after we started dusting the rug that we found it. I digress. With carpets getting thicker, manufacturers noticed something. The carpets were wearing out quickly. So, they sent their engineers in to tackle the problem of the quick-wearing thick carpets. They found the problem. When carpet is walked on over a hard surface, it mashes down on top of the surrounding fibers. Over time, this mashing causes wear. The fibers in the backing wear prematurely, causing the carpets to fall apart. They found when they put something soft under the installed carpet that the carpet lasted longer. A lot longer. The pad under your carpet acts as a shock absorber, which distributes your body weight while also lessening the damaging direct pressure. Plus, it also feels a lot better on the feet. So, the carpet pad business was born, and virtually every installed carpet in existence today, save for direct glue down carpet, has a pad under it. Not only that, manufacturers of carpet often specify in their warranty and recommended installation practice info on what type of pad to use. There are 3 basic types. Number 1, urethane foam, which is the cheapest in quality and price. Number 2, rebond, which is mashed up foam bits that are glued together, medium price and quality. And then number 3, rubber waffle, most expensive and usually highest quality. There are a couple of other types like flat rubber, super pricey, hard to find, but it's in the Rolls Royce of padding, and fiber cushion, which yours truly is not very fond of. But we'll focus on rebond, which is a shortened name for bonded urethane, and rubber waffle because we see those most often. Rebond is what we see most often under Saxony and other cut loop fuzzy carpets. The rubber waffle style is often seen under very high quality carpet, especially wool, frisé, and Berber. Beyond type, there are different thicknesses and densities as well. With rebond, the pad manufacturer refers to pressure weight over area like a 1/4 inch, 3/8 inch, 1/2 inch, etc., and density in pounds like 6 pound or 8 pound. It is extremely important to match the carpet with the pad. If you get too thin of a pad but with higher density, you may not like the feel as it doesn't provide a lot of give when you walk on it. If you get too thick of a pad, it may wear out faster and feel too spongy. There is what we call Goldilocks zone with carpet and pad. It should feel just right, and the carpet/padding should enhance one another instead of dominating or fighting one another. We recommend that you speak with your trusted carpet retailer about pad selection to get the best results, as there are just so many variables to cover in this article. If you need a recommendation of a quality carpet retailer, please give us a call and we'll be more than happy to assist you, as we know most of them around here. Our phone number is 810-225-2184. You can also visit us online on our website, is rendallscleaning.com. And that's it for this week. Thank you for subscribing. We'll see you next week. If you found our e-newsletter worthwhile, please share it with your family, friends, and colleagues. If you haven't found it any value with our e-newsletter, please share it with your enemies. While we're pretty punny in our e-newsletter, we are very serious about fighting grime. We are professional cleaners and we live to earn your business and referrals.